thought about when you said what do you want to touch on? I said, well, I think a wonderful topic would be, the stigma of online dating and why it doesn't have to be a stigma.
Ooh, let's do it. I don't know why I'm all fuzzy. Do I look fuzzy to you? It's a little fuzzy.
No, you look amazing.
It's a little fuzzy. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PS Interviews. Today, I'm interviewing Alex Rzepa, who is a love relationship mentor. So he's the one to call when you have questions in your dating life. Perhaps you're going through a divorce. Maybe you're trying to find a new direction in your life and you just need to break out of old habits and molds. This is the guy to talk to. So I'm going to introduce you right now. Alex, hello.
Good morning, Juliana. How are you this morning?
Fancy and free as always. So I just wanted to quickly say that this YouTube series that I have is really about bringing on people and them sharing their experiences through their failures, because we all have something to contribute to the greater collective and all bring inspiration to one another. So this platform is really about sharing and being open about what you've learned in your area of passion, the thing that makes you excited that you can share with others. So can you tell us a little more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you said it right. Love, dating, relationship coach. So a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook. Perhaps their marriage is dissolving. They're lacking some self-confidence when getting out into the dating world. There's some internal dialogue issues. They're a little bit negative about themselves and about the world. And what I do is I have a gift. You can call it from the divine. I meet people where they're at. So I have the ability to relate and to connect in a very compassionate, caring way. I've always been very, very connected to myself and connected to other souls ever since I was 6 or 7. And so what happened around, I would say 6, 7 years ago, I began to put it out there as a relationship coach. So what I do is I take a particular situation. For example, a woman reached out to me this morning and she's been, probably around 4 or 5 years single. And she is trying to figure out how to navigate that online dating. And she has a lot of self-worth issues. She has a lot from her past that she's carrying and holding on to. And it's really about understanding that the only problem she really has is her thinking she has a problem. And so we dialogued a little bit about how to begin and where, who she is and what her intention is and how to manifest it. So that's a little bit about what I do.
That's amazing. So what would you say to people who are in her position, who haven't been on the dating scene, let's say for even more than 5 years, and want to enter this new space of meeting someone, especially during the pandemic?
Well, first and foremost, what I would say is at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. We really don't know where we're going. We don't know where we came from. We have to really live this moment. And if we're having certain thoughts of, I do miss intimacy. I do miss connecting. I do miss, cuddling. I do miss getting to know, myself through a connection of some kind. So it's about having fun. What I tell people is always, always be yourself. And this individual mentioned this to me. I've had my challenges around it. She doesn't feel good about who she is at this particular time. And she's a little bit concerned that those men out there are going to judge. And those men out there are going to, make her feel a certain way. Well, the reality is I explained to her that she makes herself feel a certain way, not anybody else. It's not about, giving someone power. It's about you empowering your soul. So it's really about you being honest with yourself, and whatever it is you want, you can have. It's all out there. It's all out there. There's a big stigma about online dating, and people roll their eyes and they're like, oh, I've been at it for so long and I'm tired of this and tired of that. What are you tired of exactly? Because obviously you're saying you're doing something that's not vibrating, manifesting what you want, because it's all out there and it's about having fun and knowing how to attract it to you.
Right. What do you say to people, like if they go on a first date, like go for dinner, how much do you really expose of yourself?
That's an excellent question. I love that. You want to give someone a little, but you don't want to give them too much. You want them to be a little bit curious about who this person is. And having said that, nobody wants to hear another person spiel everything the first hour. It's really about asking questions, you know, where are you from? What kinds of things do you like? You tell me a little bit about yourself. It doesn't have to be about how long were you with your ex? You know, why did you break up? Are you carrying baggage from 7 years ago? And if you are, how much baggage are you carrying? No, no, no. It's about living the moment, enjoying that glass of wine, looking at them, seeing if there's a physical attraction. Perhaps there's an emotional, you feel a psychological attraction happening, a spiritual, and it takes time to cultivate that. So it's really about just having fun. You know, they showed up for you. They showed up for you. You showed up for them. Give them the respect. Listen to what they're saying without judgment. You want them to listen to you as well. They don't need to know so much about your past the first couple of dates. Enjoy, have fun, get to know each other.
Let's do a mock first date. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, here it comes. Okay, here we go. And then we'll talk about it after, okay? It's going to be so
This
fun.
is very interesting. I didn't know this would end up going in this direction.
I never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. It's the universe.
No, it's called the PS channel. Hi.
I love it.
You're on the PS station. Okay, let's try again. This is called improv. This is what I went to school for. Here we go. Hi. Hi, I'm Juliana. Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
Juliana, it's an absolute pleasure. You look amazing this evening. How are you?
Good, thank you. So when was your last relationship?
So my interesting first question. My last relationship was about, I don't know, a year and 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm. And why? Who broke up with who?
You know, Juliana, I
so do you feel like you have baggage from your last relationship?
Wait, hold on a second. I just
how many girls have you been with?
No, I just realized I have to pick up my kids in about.
You don't even have a watch. Okay, let's talk about everything wrong in that scenario.
Okay. No, wait.
Alex, what went wrong right away? Because I felt it all. It's just too attacky. It's attacky. It's like, can I jump in? Am I allowed? It's my show.
Yeah, but you got to delete that though.
No, it was brilliant. What are you talking about? That was perfect.
Okay, listen, if you think your audience is going to like it, it's your show.
Great.
I'm here, you know, whatever you need.
So what I'm trying to say is that I find a lot of women quickly, because of their past relationships, would go on the attack if they have not been on the dating scene for so long. Maybe this might.
Actually, I think that's a very good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I think throughout the dinner or the drink or the coffee date, whatever it is, I think that you're right. I think sometimes we can go on a tangent and you know, ask a question and perhaps want to know 7 or 8 things, and then we end up asking 7 or 8 questions. Having said that, we have to understand that, you know, it's really important to give people space and allow them to express themselves when it's time, when they're ready. It's different if you're dating someone 2-3 months or 6 months and you want to know something. I think it's, you know, it's okay to expect an honest answer. It's okay. But the first couple of dates, I think you're just kind of, you know, feeling each other out. You're having fun. There shouldn't be any expectations. And you just got to be honest, be yourself. And first and foremost, let's not forget, self-confidence is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's something that you asked me earlier, what I specialize in. So I work with people on their self-confidence, because if you don't have self-confidence, you have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can forget dating, you can forget anything, because as I told this wonderful woman this morning, I said, a man will entertain you, but a quality man will never entertain a woman that lacks self-confidence. Never, ever in a million years. And we can all feel each other. Energy doesn't lie. We all sense.
So where do you feel self-confidence comes from? Because I have a theory too.
Self-confidence comes from doing.
Mm.
Self-confidence comes from action and repetition. Self-confidence comes from believing that you are deserving and you're powerful and you are strong and you are a wonderful individual. You're 1 in 8 billion. Mm-hmm. Just that thought alone is the foundation for self-confidence. Mm-hmm. You know, self-confidence comes from the ability, your ability, mm-hmm. in knowing that you're able to accomplish anything that you put your mind to.
Mhm.
Understanding that when you wake up in the morning and you do some exercises and you take a shower and you feel good about who you are, well, that's doing. And the more we do, the more confident we become. And the internal dialogue has to always vibrate positively. And if we're always thinking positive about ourselves in the world, well, that's only going to add to the self-confidence and not hinder.
Mhm. Okay, so on a date, if you're really not feeling, physically attracted, mentally, emotionally, how would you recommend your clients end the date in a very honest and correct way?
It's another excellent question, Juliana, that I wasn't expecting. And the reason why that's a great question for many reasons. So many people feel like they don't want to hurt the other person. They feel sad, they feel scared, they feel worried, they feel nervous. And it isn't really, people shouldn't really think too much about the other individual's feelings, as long as they're being, respectful and kind, be compassionate. Oftentimes when I'm asked, how was it tonight? Would you like to see me again? What did you think? Well, I have actually told the person that I'm sitting across from that I find you extremely attractive physically. I'm not sure that we're compatible, but however, I would love to see you again and go for coffee or maybe meet for a drink, or next week I'm having friends over. Would you like to come over? And then the universe will dictate where it flows. Perhaps you're not going to be a romantic partner, but perhaps you're going to be very good friends. Perhaps you're going to align your businesses and collaborate and do something beautiful. Perhaps you're going to introduce them to someone else, like a cousin or an aunt or a brother. So you never know where it's going to lead. But it's very important to be honest. If you're honest with yourself, that's also the catalyst to self-confidence.
What would you say to a woman who's like, okay, so the guy says, I'm going to call you back, looking forward to meeting again, and she doesn't hear back from him in 3 days? What do you recommend your client do?
Well, I would take a city like Calgary with 1.3 million people. I mean, there's at least her age, there's at least another, I'm going to guess 20 to 30,000, maybe 50,000 possible dates. I would tell her to focus on that future and meeting other people and getting out there again. I would also encourage her to understand that rejection does not exist.
Mhm.
That word in my vocabulary and my soul does not exist. It is the universe telling her, showing her, demonstrating to her, giving her signs that, hey, this person is not for you. This person is for another person. Do I have the answer? No, I don't. The divine has the answer. I don't. We just have to keep going. It's about understanding that we are learning something from this.
Right.
There's something that she's learning from, and she has to understand that and keep going from it.
So she shouldn't text and be like, hey, I just wanted to see, like you said, you were going to call me. Like what? Like, don't do that.
It is okay to text once. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. If she's feeling that there was an attraction and she liked him and liked to get to know him, for her to reach out after 2 or 3 days, if he hasn't reached out, and to inquire, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to say I had a really good time. Are you interested in seeing me again? Because I'm interested in getting to know you.
Mm.
You put it out to the universe. Now it's about, being patient and waiting. And if you don't get a response, that day or the next day, well, guess what?
Mm.
It's meant to be. And there's no point in getting upset about it. There's no point in getting down about it.
Mhm.
It is just a sign. It is a message. It is the universe directing you to a different direction. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Okay, so what are the 5 questions I should ask on a first date?
Wow, there's many. There's many. I mean, there's wonderful questions. You as a woman?
As a woman on a first date, what do you think are 5 really effective, or let's go 3 very effective questions that you would recommend your client do ask on a first date?
So, people always ask, how long have you been single, or how long were you married? There's nothing wrong with those questions. I like to ask questions like, What empowers you? What are
Mm.
your passions? What moves your soul? You know, when you wake up in the morning, what gets you going? What gets your blood going? What gets your blood pumping?
Yeah.
I like to ask questions like, how's your relationship with your mother and father? How's your relationship with your siblings? The way people answer that question tells you so much about their integrity, their connection to values and relationships in life and family, and that's important. And so you can watch the way you can hear the way they speak, you can look at their eyes, and you can look at their body language to see if they're being genuine.
Mhm.
What are some of the restaurants you like, places that you've traveled? What's your favorite music?
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about your connection with your children. How is that? What do you do with them?
Right.
What excites you? So it's not so much about the past. It's not so much about past relationships. It's really getting to know them and
Mm.
understanding them. And people do like to be asked questions, and they do like to talk about themselves, and they do like to connect. And at the end of the day, it's not about a relationship. We often forget that, Juliana. When we go out for a dinner, or we go out for a coffee, or we go out for a drink, so many of us, and I've done it in the past, we think about the future. We automatically think about tomorrow or a week or a year from now. No, be in the moment with them. Just be in the moment with that person and get to know each other, and know that we don't know where this is going to go. Who knows where it's going to go? But just be honest and allow it to flow the way it's supposed to.
I love that. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up with two more questions. One is your favorite book that you'd recommend for everyone to read who is looking for a relationship. That's
I
one.
love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Yep.
Um,
That's
wow.
yeah.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
my favorite book ever is Your Sacred Self by Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
Your
I'll write it.
Sacred Self
Yeah.
by Wayne Dyer. I mean, some people are going to listen and go, well, that's not really a relationship book. But at the end of the day, it is.
Mhm.
It is. It's a beautiful book. I also love The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov.
Mhm.
That's a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal book.
Mhm.
Those are my two favorite books.
And if you were to say, what is Alex Rzepa's purpose in this physical realm that you are currently in?
I love that. I love that question. My purpose in life right now is to grow, is to learn, is to connect, and to relate to people, is to be the best father I can be to my three daughters, is to be the best son I can be to my mother, and most of all is to empower other people's soul, empower their dating life, make their relationship between them and themselves stronger, to give them self-love and self-hope, guide them in navigating their purpose,
Mhm.
and helping people understand that their truth is okay wherever they are. Some people are in the momentum, and they're in flow, and they're living their life, and everything is just flowing beautifully. Some people aren't there yet, and their internal dialogue is not vibrating the way it should be. And I love connecting with them, figuring out what it is that they need. And I just love empowering their soul and their minds and helping them being the best person they are. That's what I love.
That's awesome.
I got really passionate there for a second.
I felt it.
That's best way for people to reach out to me would probably be on Facebook.
Okay.
Because they can just send me a direct message on Facebook.
Alex Rzepa on Facebook. At the bottom of my screen. Do you see it? It's right there. Alex, thank you so much for your time and your words of wisdom. I love what you said, because at the end of the day, I do agree with you. Everything's energy, and you have to uplift yourself to find that person at the same frequency as you. If you go in low expecting someone to bring you high, it's just going to go like this. It's just going to go like this. So you have to bring yourself to where you want to meet your match vibrationally. That means no news. Listen to classical music, make your bed in the morning, go for a walk, fresh air, stick your feet in some dirt in the summer, right, Alex? Get your feet, garden,
Love it.
connect
Love it.
with nature, because those are all things that are going to increase your vibrational state frequency.
Can I make one last point?
No, sure.
When you are out with someone and in the back of your mind, you're thinking, there's really no connection here. Just remember, There's a reason why you're there.
Oof.
There's a reason why you're there, for you to learn and grow. And perhaps they're going to say something that's going to trigger something in you that's going to go, oh my God, this person's a genius. That was a smart comment. You don't know. So always look at the positive.
Yes.
And go, and don't ever think that you wasted your time. Oh, I made such a mistake with him. Oh, I made such a mistake with her. There's no mistakes. There's experiences, there's lessons, there's growth, and there's love.
Oh my God, what a beautiful way to end that. That's gorgeous. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All the best. Say bye to your fans.
You're funny.
You're funny.